Fleet Control, SimCell copies. We are S.p.a.r.t.a.n at 130259. Stationary controller, this is dispatch. Been notified of an injury accident involving multiple vehicles, multiple injuries on the Mount Rose Highway, that's State Route 431 at the Galena High School. Requesting fire, EMS, and law enforcement.
Hey, you guys okay? Your eye, sir. Can you see out of your eye?
No.
You alright?
Yeah. You guys alright?
I saw, you know. Hey, give me a break, dude. My brakes went out.
Okay, right now you're just hit.
Hey, man, wait a minute. He's been drinking.
Can anybody in here walk that's not injured? Walk down this way to me real quick. These are all injured, but they can move. They're able to walk. Just stage them somewhere back here.
Come with me.
Stay right here. Okay. You're out here.
You doing all right?
No, can you help me up?
Sure.
I asked these kids, they don't know what school they go to. The other one is Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, one's Coca-Cola, and this is...
They didn't tell any of you guys what school you're going to.
He's gonna have to be taken out now. She's still okay?
She can't walk.
Yeah, right, right. She's okay. She's still. This one here. This one here. We need out of here now.
Okay, you
got a yellow here and a red over here.
Get out of your way.
We got red behind him too. We got red behind him.
Broken Axle was a mass casualty, mass fatality exercise that was planned in conjunction with the statewide SPARTAN project, which was schools prepared and ready together across Nevada to help ensure that our schools and our school districts in the state are ready for emergency situations when they occur. Conducting a large-scale exercise involves a considerable amount of time and resources in a community. The benefits are numerous to those communities that engage in such activities.
The reason that we conduct exercises is to stress the system or potentially break the system to see where our weaknesses are, as well as to see what areas we need to improve, as well as what strengths we may have. And finally, to understand in a real life application, if you will, granted it's in a simulated environment, but to have real life actors, people, equipment that put their hands on the plan and are actually bringing the plan to life in a sense and determining whether or not that plan works and what type of improvements we need to make later on.
We spend all this time planning and preparing for an emergency, and sometimes the only opportunities to test if our planning was successful is during an actual event, and that is not necessarily the best time to learn. And so these drills provide an opportunity to test a plan and to test the work of a specific body to see if what they thought would happen was realistic, and then make those changes in a safe learning environment so that when the real world incident happens, it's a successful outcome for everybody involved.
Schools and school districts have an obligation to conduct emergency exercises to ensure that the systems, protocols, and practices that they engage in during times of crisis are functional and in line with the community of first responders. The Washoe County School District in Reno, Nevada, engaged in the full-scale exercise with multiple resources from the Transportation Division, the Communications Department, and school police. The community of first responders was significant and included local fire and rescue departments, local emergency medical technicians, the medical examiner's office, and a local hospital. The State Emergency Management Division also participated. The exercise design team began meeting approximately 7 months prior to the day of the planned event. The team used the Department of Homeland Security's Exercise and Evaluation Program, also known as HCEP.
There are multiple different meetings to develop the scenario, to ensure that the scenario is as close to accurate as possible, as well as to kind of iron out any weird outliers, kinks, whatever, prior to the exercise.
Lots of schedules had to be intermixed between agencies, as well as an event that was happening on a national level here in Reno. And not only that, but being able to, with such limited budgets, being able to get the resources on scene that we did and coordinate them all to execute seamlessly in a short 2 or 3 hour period.
The exercise scenario consisted of a staged collision of 2 school buses and a flatbed truck. One bus was designated as a special needs bus, while the other, which was overturned, was a large 84-passenger bus. The exercise design team selected 4 main objectives for this exercise. Objective 1, to develop a regional level exercise of sufficient intensity to test the mass casualty plan and the SPARTAN school plan. Objective 2, to establish the staff and facilities needed for full on-scene incident command. Objective 3, to receive and treat surge casualties at the hospital. Objective 4, to conduct on-scene fatality management operations. Controllers and evaluators were assigned and briefed the day before the exercise. This gave them an opportunity to ask questions and ensure that they knew what their assignment was going to be. To make the exercise as realistic as possible, local Boy Scout troops and students enrolled in the local Job Corps made up the body of the students on the buses.
Just the experience itself in what really does happen when a bus crashes or something like that. I know that my youngest son is going to know that he needs to be quiet on the bus so that when his bus driver says you need to be quiet so I don't crash, he's going to understand a little bit more. And with the Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts and things like that, this is a great opportunity for them to help the community.
I think I'm going to have lots of fun because I've always wanted to act in a video or a movie or anything, and it's just been kind of my dream.
Each student was moulaged and provided with index cards that gave them instructions as to their primary complaints and injuries. Other cards listed their actual injuries to help the responders check their skills in the field.
Well, after they check this card, where they check all my my blood pressure and stuff, I'm gonna when they're not looking, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna rip off just one side of this card, and it's gonna say code, and that means I'm gone.
It's the adrenaline factor. It's the urgency factor is improved when they have something visual. When my casualties are acting properly with what their symptoms are supposed to be, it gives them something far more realistic, and what is realistically learned is far better retained.
The students and the role players were positioned in the vehicles and on the accident scene roughly 30 minutes before the exercise start time. Other role players included parents, concerned citizens, and an individual who was injected in the accident to fake an injury in an attempt to commit insurance fraud.
My part of the exercise, I'm the bus driver. My axle breaks, bus goes over on its side, we have a collision with a special needs bus, and I actually go through the windshield. I don't die immediately. I'm actually alive when the rescue starts, but as I'm being extracted from the school bus, I expire.
So I'm on the big bus and I go in and out of consciousness, and I slur when I speak, and I have a lacerated scalp. I think this is really great for all the victims to learn about this and how it's ever going to work if they really are in a situation like this, and for the responders so they are just ready if this ever does happen also.
I think this is wonderful. It gives us a chance to actually see what's going to happen in a true emergency situation. And it's nice to know that we're going to be all set and ready for it when it does happen.
Once the exercise started, the first responders began to filter onto the accident scene. Vehicles were staged close by, but delayed when requested to simulate real-world distances. This increased the level of stress on the first-in units. The students were triaged at the accident scene and ultimately transported to the hospital. Once at the hospital, the students were replaced by dolls that entered the building and to the different medical units. This was done for 2 reasons: to reduce the amount of stress to the real patients in the hospital, and to ensure that the real students were kept in a safe, secure, and supervised area of the building. The real students were ultimately released to their parents to test the reunification process. reunification is one facet of school emergencies that must be done with no mistakes. It was critical for our staff to practice this function. Another element that is rarely practiced is the coordination with the local medical examiner's office. The Washoe County Medical Examiner's Office was a committed partner through the entire process. The lessons learned by involving the medical examiner's office were substantial for all parties associated with this exercise. The exercise itself lasted approximately 3 hours, including the time at the hospital. Once the exercise was concluded, a hot wash was conducted to capture immediate feedback from the responders. The following day, all of the evaluators met and conducted an evaluator debrief. This meeting sets the foundation for the final part of the exercise, the AARIP, or After Action Review Improvement Plan.
In a hot wash, the idea is to look at what happened in the incident, take everybody's observations, all of their experiences, and put them down on paper. And you would love for the mood to be in the room that everything went perfectly. But then that's the purpose of the hot wash, is to find out actually what went wrong, what can we improve on, what can we learn from. So having the hot wash is an extremely delightful but also painful experience, but it's a necessary experience both for the responders who were there as well as the people who put the exercise on.
That I don't know if any of this could have, a lot of these things could have came to light without Chris Smith and the development of Spartan and the amount of work that was put in by him and all the staff that they brought in from outside the state and across the nation. These discussions, they are needed, they have to happen, we have to be prepared before these events unfold on our streets, and it's the discussions, whether it be at 2 in the morning or over a cup of coffee, these are the things that need to happen now. And I think it's very evident that we're doing the right thing because so many states are looking at what we're doing and saying, how are you guys talking about this? How do you meet together and cross jurisdictional boundaries and get memorandums of understanding? And so I think it's only appropriate to really give the credit to the people that organized this and have really put the blood, sweat, and tears in to make a difference in our community, and they're doing a great job.
To see a school district, which is a totally different realm, that well embedded with the law enforcement and the emergency responders speaks well to the amount of preparation that's been going on with these organizations, and they should be credited with that.
It is the desire of the emergency management community to conduct exercises that test and challenge the talents and skill sets of the responders, while at the same time setting them up to succeed. Exercises that challenge help our departments grow, evolve, and ultimately provide improved services to our citizens, and in this case, our students. If a full-scale exercise is something that you would like to learn more about, contact your local emergency manager or the Nevada Division of Emergency Management. This exercise was a part of the Nevada Project Spartan, Schools Prepared and Ready Together Across Nevada, a Nevada Homeland Security Commission grant program.